Shut up and listen to me for 1 second. Cut the bullshit. Forget what you've been told. Forget what the guru told you. Forget what you learned on YouTube. Forget what society told you. Guys, it is time to make a change. What you're doing right now isn't working, and that should freaking bother you. That should piss you off. If nothing changes for you, nothing will ever change. Society taught you to be a good little slave, a good little cog in the machine, stuck in the rat race for the rest of your life. If you are listening to this podcast, we are going to fix that ASAP, because that is not what you were designed for. So stop lying, stop listening to bullshit information. It's time to learn real estate the correct way, not the popular way, the correct way. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this. Welcome to Multifamily Mafia. What do you guys think of that intro? I needed something to fire me up a little bit so I don't fall asleep. Extremely tired today. We've had a massive amount of snow. Well over a foot here in the last 24 hours in Montana. It's beautiful. It's cold as fuck. I love it. As always, thank you for being here. Today, we are going to talk about the relationship as a wholesaler between you and your buyer. This is one of the most important relationships that you can have if you are going to be a successful wholesaler. So why do so many wholesalers treat their buyers as if there's some random $5 hooker that they met on the side of the street? There's no trust. There's no relationship. You're scared of them. You don't trust them. They don't trust you. Like you're nervous and like this weird bullshit relationship. Ask yourself this question. As a professional business owner, as the CEO of whatever the hell your company's name is that the kind of relationship that you want to be engaged in? The answer is no, by the way. So why do you insist on that being the relationship between you and your buyer? Here's what I mean. Well, what if they go over to the property and they talk to the seller and they steal my deal? If you don't have a relationship with your buyer, they should never be going to the property in the first place, whether they steal the deal from you or not. If you can't trust your buyer, you shouldn't even be talking to them. I see this very often in every group that I'm a part of. Bless your hearts. I see this often. It is, well, how in the hell do I get my buyer to go look at this property without them talking to the seller? What kind of a relationship are you guys building here? One where there's such little trust that you don't want two human beings to introduce themselves to each other. Oh my God, what if the seller finds out that I'm not actually buying it, that somebody else is buying it? Oh my God, what if they ask the wrong question? What if they bring up price? Guys, listen to me for a minute. If you build the relationship the correct way, if you have proper expectations with your seller, yourself, your team, your buyer, there will never, ever, 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 ever be a problem. I can promise you that. I've never had a problem with this. I've done well over $500,000 in real estate as a wholesaler. That was in 10 months when I first started. Guys, I was showing buyers properties that I had never even seen. 3,000 miles away from me. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Cleveland, Ohio. You see what I'm saying here? I had never even met the seller in person. I had never met the buyer in person. I had never, ever, ever seen the property other than like a Google image on, well, Google, duh. Proper expectations. Let's talk about that relationship. Mr. Buyer, my name's Jordan Stanley Payne. I am freaking ecstatic to start working with you. if we're going to have a good relationship, there's a couple things that we just need to get out in the open. I'm making a profit. Are you okay with that? Great. I knew you would be. You're obviously going to make a profit. When I bring a deal to you, I want you to give me the number that you would pay. I know that you probably need to see the property. If I have pictures, if I have a video, I will present that to you in a Dropbox folder. I will give you access to that. But here's the deal. To protect myself, to protect you, to protect the seller, the negotiation, the price and the terms, that conversation goes through me and me only. If you go look at the property, I am okay with that. I will coordinate that. But when you go look at the property, your job is to go look at the property. Ask as many questions as you want about the physical condition of the property. But again, let me have the price and terms conversation with them. If we can agree to this, we can have a great relationship. We can do a lot of business. We can each make a lot of money. And that's what I've got. What do you think? What questions, comments, or concerns do you have? Does that make sense? MFM, Multifamily Mafia. Does that make sense to you? That conversation. Here's the conversation with the seller. Mr. Seller, my name is Jordan Stanley Payne. Thank you for calling me. I greatly appreciate your time. I pride myself on being able to solve real estate problems for different people. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy helping people. Here's the deal. With your property, one of three things is going to happen. We have three options here. Number one, I'm going to buy this property myself, and I'm going to keep it as a rental long-term, or I'm going to fix it up a little bit and give it to a tenant buyer. That's option number one. Option number two is one of my business partners is going to step in, and they're going to take over the project. Or three, I'm going to partner with somebody on this project, this house, and jointly, together, we are going to take this down. Do you have any problem with either of those three options? They're going to say no. Thank you. Thank you for saying no. Great. Great. So over the next couple weeks, myself and probably some of my business partners are going to be looking at the property. If there is a tenant, we will gladly give them 24 hours notice as well as you. But I just wanted to let you know, I'm going to be here, probably a couple of my business partners, maybe my contractor, etc. Do you have any problem with that? Guys, if they say yes, just kindly explain to them, okay, well, how about we just do one showing, and I'll bring a couple people, we'll do it one time. That way we don't disturb the tenants, that we don't mess with your schedule. I hope this is making sense to you. You control the relationship. You control the relationship with the seller and the buyer. You are the gatekeeper of this transaction. You call the fucking shots. It's not your buyer. It's not your seller. You coordinate what happens here. Wholesaling is extremely simple. I haven't done it in a long time, and I'm kind of glad. Wholesaling is extremely simple. I do it in reverse. I do it buyer first. Mr. Buyer, what do you want? He's going to tell me what he wants, his specific criteria. I'm going to start marketing for that. When I think, keyword, when I think I have found that, I'm going to gather the information and present it to my buyer. Mr. Buyer, here's the information that I have. What do you think? My buyer is going to tell me, Jordan, this is what I think. Great. What can you pay? I can pay $100,000. Great. I'm going to offer the seller of the property less than $100,000. Anything up to like 99.5, I'm good with, right? Maybe I'll start with 90. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. Don't complicate it. Remember, you cultivate the relationship. Stop being so fucking paranoid about your buyer stealing a deal, about your buyer meeting the seller. If you have not cultivated that relationship, you have no business being in real estate as a wholesaler yet until you can cultivate that relationship. Thanks again, guys. Greatly appreciate your time. If you have not subscribed to the podcast yet, please do that for me ASAP. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, whatever device you're using, please subscribe and leave a comment. That allows people to find us better. As always, make sure you are following us on social media. Our Snapchat is The Kingdom REI. Facebook and Instagram is at The Kingdom Real Estate. Website www.thekingdomrealestate.com. You can find me personally. I've got multiple groups. I've got different pages and all of that. Jordan Stanley Payne. Type that into Facebook. You'll find me there. Thank you again. Have a great day.